Hi Bean! Today I will do a sketchbook tour through all of my sketchbooks that I have ever used. Those are all the sketchbooks that I have drawn and painted in since I was 15, and I will try my best to go chronologically through all of them so we can kind of like see my art journey, my sketching journey, and see where my art is coming from. I have to be honest with you, I have, as you can see, a problem with sketchbooks. Most of the time when I'm in an art supply store, I end up buying a new sketchbook. Yeah, I have these 23 sketchbooks I want to show. I have these 23 sketchbooks that I want to show you today. You might think that it will take very long to go through them, but I have not only the problem that I always buy too many sketchbooks, but also that most of them aren't even half full. So most of them is empty pages. I have a problem with using only one sketchbook and then finishing it up, because every sketchbook you see here had a purpose. I had a purpose for it in mind when I bought it, and this makes me not finish it, because only when I want to draw this specific motif or thing, I take out this one sketchbook and then draw and sketch with it. This is something I try to overcome, but I still am doing that. Most of them I have not touched since years. Yeah, so I'm very excited to see what is in there. Let's see where my journey of sketching and making art and all of that began. Yeah, we will begin with this one, and then we will go through the years from 2015 to 2023 today. Okay, so let's start with our first sketchbook. Oh yes, I remember that drawing. This is Jinx from League of Legends. I was actually a gamer when I was younger. Played a lot of League of Legends with my friends, and characters were what got me into drawing. I always just drew like characters from games or from movies that I liked. Yeah, Jinx was actually the first character that I played when I started League of Legends, so she is the first character that I drew in this sketchbook. And then we continue with a drawing of Bard. And then one of my friends wanted me to draw his dream League of Legends squad, so I did this digital drawing, which was actually one of my first ones, and I don't know, I think I worked on that for over 30 hours or something, and those are the sketches for the characters. This is Fizz with an Anivia egg, and we have another Bard that I did not finish because I think I was just too lazy to do that. And here's Draven, or just a Draven portrait, because I was also too lazy to draw him. And yes, we have Irelia, as you can see, and also a Kha'Zix. Here we have a pair of eyes. I actually loved drawing eyes. Me and my best friend drew like 10 eyes each day because we wanted to learn how to draw the perfect eyes. Always in this shape, always with a huge amount of single drawn lashes and eyebrows. And then I did doodles like that. I don't know what this is supposed to be. And this is what happened when I tried to draw from imagination, like doing this front eye when you actually have someone from the side. So I was guilty of doing this. I was also guilty of not knowing how to use the space. I can still not manage all the space I have. I always end up being too near to any of the corners of the paper. Everywhere where you can see this, it means I actually hated the drawing. Here we have a portrait of Lana Del Rey, and I really loved her music. Then we have, I don't know her name because this was also a commission from one of my gamer friends. And here I drew, or I tried to draw, Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet, which is my absolute favorite animated movie. And I also scratched out his face because I didn't like it. Here we have a little Dumbo drawing, which was my favorite movie as a kid. But this was, I guess, like a first try of drawing anatomy. And one of the first tries of drawing a stylized portrait. And it is very sad to admit, but I still cannot draw curly hair. I still struggle with it, and I think if I would try to draw this hairstyle, it would kind of look the same. And here's a try of me, I think, learning the anatomy of the face, because you can see all the shapes I did here and the lines. And I think for one of the first tries that I did this, it is still very good, because this was not like redrawing a character or anything. It was from, I think, from a picture or maybe from imagination, and for drawing out of imagination from a picture. For one of my first times, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. And here's another try of me drawing anatomy of the face. I was actually super into drawing naked people, and I still love figure drawing. And I have to say that for one of my first tries, this is actually very good. I'm really proud of myself. Those are the first stylized portraits I did that I was really proud of. I still really love them. I love her a lot. She looks very bold, and she could actually be a character of mine now. And I was a big fan of drawing each strand of hair to show the lighting and highlights in it. Well, there were some days I could not do that, as you can see here. And another beautiful portrait. I don't know why some days it was good, some days I could not draw at all, but you know, this didn't change, it is still like that. This is an alien that I drew all the time, and I gave it the name Nude. Maybe some of you might recognize it because it was very famous on We Hired It and Pinterest back then. You could see this alien everywhere, and I actually wanted to do a comic out of it. Yeah, I was really into aliens and also the universe and all of that stuff. Here we have another figure drawing. And here is a tattoo design I did, and I wanted to get that. I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and I was like thinking about what to get, and this is not what I got, but I really like the design. I don't know, it's a huge sun. Okay, now we come to the spicy stuff. Here's the finished version of Ari and Jinx together with Copics. I was experimenting with them because I never drew with Copics before, and this was like the first piece I did. Well, yeah, it was just me drawing naked League of Legends characters. It was not my decision. A friend of mine wanted to have it, but I don't know if I can show that to you actually. This is kind of embarrassing. Yeah, but this is where my art started, you know, drawing naked League of Legends characters. It is what it is. And here is the other character that I sketched in the sketchbook with Copics, and I think it turned out pretty cute. Here we have Elizabeth from Borderlands, not Borderlands, from Bioshock. And here is an astronaut that I actually drew when I was 19. I really loved everything that had something to do with the universe and planets and aliens. I also have like an Alien Woman series that I drew with acrylics when I was younger. And I think, yeah, this is actually the end of this sketchbook from when I was 16. So let's get to the next one. Okay, this is a much smaller sketchbook. I think this one is actually from 10th grade, when I was like maybe 17 or something like that. And this is a marker sketchbook, so I got some Copics and I tried out all the colors, and then I drew a cell. Regular things you do as a school kid, I guess. Then I drew this scene from Spirited Away. I really love No Face, and I wanted to try out my colors, and this is just one of these drawings like everybody did with the silhouettes of a forest and silhouettes of buildings. And again, some eyes, and I was so proud of them, and I still really like it. I also like the shading that I did here. I really had my fun with Copics. And then I had days like this where again I wanted to draw something out of imagination and I just got nothing right, and I ended up drawing these kind of beans instead of faces. Oh, and this is, I think, one of the first cyberpunky illustration that I did. And I think this is very interesting because for a long time I did not draw like cyberpunk stuff, and I actually didn't know that I drew something cyberpunky back then. So like this is about 6 years ago, and now I'm like coming back to that, and I think this is very cool to see that I actually have done this in the past, and now I'm just like coming back to my old interests and kind of my old style. Here I try to draw a portrait with realistic shading. You can see that I tried to do it realistically on the lips, but I think I just gave up because again, I could not manage my space. Yeah, it ended up not looking like I wanted, so I always had the habit to just stop drawing. This is just an eye again, and more naked bodies because I just love to draw them. And more. And more. This is a very cool drawing, but if you turn it around, it is so scuffed. Here's another tattoo idea that I did. I wanted to get that on my upper thigh. This is the skull of a giraffe. Giraffes are my favorite animals. Another body. I think that is it for this sketchbook. As I said, more than half of my sketchbooks are empty, so I have so much paper that I can use, but I think I maybe never will. Okay, let's get to this one. This sketchbook is like more of a quote book, so not really characters in here or drawings, but more lettering and quotes that I liked from songs that I liked. Maybe some of you might know some of the song lyrics. I think this is from a Tyler the Creator song. This is from a German rapper. This is Bring Me the Horizon, Medicine. I actually really love doing these fonts and doing this letterings. I actually still get inspired a lot by my favorite songs, and this is where it started. I took the lyrics that I liked and did a lettering for it, and now I am doing more of whole illustrations from one quote that I like from lyrics. This is a Tamino song. Again, Bring Me the Horizon, and I was really into drawing these people without faces, just the bodies. I started drawing people like that because I never managed to get the face right, so I was like, you know, f it, I just draw their bodies and what they're doing, and it reminds me a lot of Miriam Tilson. I really loved her back then, and I got a lot of inspiration from her. And this is the whole Logic 1-800 song. This is not even like anything creative. This is the Puppy Dog Eyes song. I think this was its name. And this is a Lana Del Rey song. This is Billie Eilish, as you can see. And here I started another series that I didn't finish. I wanted to make a series of the zodiac signs with watercolor and with their qualities, but I ended up just doing the one for Pisces. Yeah, I did a lot of black artworks with ink and a lot with words and with quotes. And I think these would make very cool tattoo designs, not gonna lie. Oh, this is actually a tattoo that I got. Not the way that it looks here, but let me show you. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the snake that I got tattooed. Didn't think that I would show my leg in the sketchbook tour, but this is a tattoo that I designed myself, and then the tattoo artist redesigned it. And I really love it. It is my favorite still. And I think this was it again for this sketchbook. This was all. Okay, this next sketchbook is from 2019 actually, so I was just getting into drawing with my own style, and I began drawing stylized portraits and kind of like characters, and I really like this kind of shading, this crosshatch shading. I was into cartoony characters and more comic-like characters with big eyes and straightforward expressions. And again, a bad day that I drew my emotions. And this is actually from when we did a comic project in school. And those are like the first comics that I did for my own characters, and we will come to them later on. But yeah, this was the school project I did the storyboard for. That's it with this gray papered sketch pad. Okay, now we have this little sketch pad, and this is from 2019. Some lip studies and some nose studies. Here I try to draw our Christmas tree. This is just some random shapes I did. And some anatomy practice. Nice. I don't know why all my anatomy practice people were creepy looking dudes. Oh, and bald people. They never had hair. This was when I started sketching every day for like 20 days or something. And this was day number 1. And day number 2, I was starting to draw random people on the bus. So this was inside of the bus. And these are referenced drawings again. I really like the way I shaded this one. And again, some random eyes with some poetry. And yeah, that's it. Little green one. We have these 3 sketchbooks. So I got this as a set. Let's see which one I got here. So I think this was the sketchbook I wanted to draw every day in. And here you can see that I was actually working on my anatomy more. Skull. Oh, and those are some of my favorite pages. I was really impressed by my own skills on that day because I didn't think that I could draw something that looks as good as it does here. So I really like this, and I also like the style I did those in. And then it was this on the next day. So I was like, how do I manage drawing these? And then the next day when I tried to draw out of imagination, it looks like this. But drawing out of imagination is very hard. I still cannot do it. Some more stylized and also watercolor drawings. And the puppy dog eyes song again, with a very creepy looking dog. Oh my god, what is wrong with him? Some more colored portraits. I loved these so much. And here is one in green. And I think this was a follower of mine. I think I asked my followers if I could draw them, and then I drew her. Some eyes I drew with gouache. And some more portraits. The candles out of my room. 2 more portraits. This was like when I asked my followers what I should sketch. Someone said half car, half man, so I did car man. Someone else wanted to see a dragon unicorn, so I did it. Have you ever seen a dragon unicorn? I did not. And then I started the Mets 100 Hats Challenge on 18th July 2020. And I started off very good, you know. I did some hats, number 4, number 5, this is number 3, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10. I really like this spread a lot. This was it. I think I did not. Oh, well, I did. Number 11 and number 12, but I did not do more. I did 12% of the 100 hats challenge. And here are some sketches I did pretty recently, I guess. I think this was like maybe half a year ago or something, because this is already the character style that I developed like a year ago. And I wanted to do this illustration, but I did not. I don't know why. I think I just couldn't figure out a good pose, but I like this. And this was it for this sketchbook again. So that's sketch number 2 of these. And this is the 100 days of drawing houses. I wanted to take the advice from Struthless and draw one thing for 100 days, and I decided to do houses. So I have number 1, number 2 and 3, then number 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8. And I actually did not draw this. And this was it. So again, a completely empty sketchbook. And number 3 I think is not much better. In this I drew again some portraits. And those, I really love them. I started doing thumbnails before drawing, and I think this was why these turned out very good, because I first made out all the proportions and then started drawing. I also like this one a lot. And this one I did some gouache paints. I think I was getting into the Loomis head with all of these, because you can see the Loomis head in the beginning of all of these drawings. And this is again a quote. This is from Mac Miller, Good News. And this is such a nice portrait. I'm also very proud of how I did the chain. I really love drawing chains. I kind of love all the stuff that people hate drawing. I love drawing hands, I love drawing foreshortening, I love drawing jewelry like this. Tamino. And another portrait. Here's a portrait that I did for a TikTok video actually, and I ended up not liking it, so I scratched it again like I did when I was 15. Someone eating their own eyes. This was again recommendations from my Instagram followers. Someone wanted a person with 2 heads arguing with himself. And another one wanted me to draw an astronaut walking their dog. There's poop. And a worm race. I don't know, someone just said I should draw a worm race, and this was amazing. And here are some concepts that I never actually ended up drawing, but I loved drawing heads with every kind of like cables coming in and out of it. Another portrait and a poem that I wrote when I had a bad day. And that's it. I mean, actually this is half full, so this is okay. So this was the set of 3 watercolor books I did not draw with watercolor in. Amazing. Okay, let's get actually to a sketchbook that I finished, and I started it in 2020, so from June 2020 to March 2021. So let's start and let's get into this, because this is very interesting. Okay, I was doing studies of old people here. This was just an idea that I had to have this male body and then have different animal faces on it. And this is Haku from Spirited Away. This was when I was on vacation, and this was just like a dynamic pose study. This was at the place where I worked. I worked at a bar, and I just drew that when I had a break, I think. Some random ink works. And this is actually a very cool drawing. I really liked it. I don't know if I drew it when it came out, but I just wanted to draw something with my gouache colors. These are some random sketches. And this is actually the first time that I drew Rosalind, even though back then she was a whole different character, but this was the first Rosalind sketch that I did. She still looks like this, but she has a completely different background and the whole story is different. Some more sketches. And a dragon with an ink brush. I really love him. He looks so cool and I really love the dynamic of him. Some hand sketches. These are some friends of mine when we were visiting a friend in Berlin. And here are some feeties. And this is me getting back, maybe from Berlin, I don't know. And here I drew someone with a dog's head and some carousels. Here are some 7-minute sketches. Some more figure sketches from 2020. This was at art school already. And some more gouache paints. I wanted to try the contrast orange-blue. And a cactus. And random people. And some more tattoo ideas. Again, a snake and puzzle and a scissor. And I actually got a scissor tattooed. And this was a Draw This in Your Style I did with gouache. And this was my first actual like character design. I never did that before. Me back then, 3 years ago, saying I dislike creating OCs. And look at me now, I'm just like loving all of my OCs. Posca markers and fine liner works. This was without sketching. This was just right away drawing with fine liners. And a collage. I don't know if you say collage in English. Maybe you know what I mean, maybe not. And here's some analytical drawing. Here's some more gouache studies where I wanted to paint with 3 different hues, I guess. I really like this hand. And that's it. This is me. I did a self-portrait in the beginning and I did a self-portrait in the end of the sketchbook, and I actually had a buzz cut. Yeah, so this is the first and only finished sketchbook that I have. I am so proud of myself. Oh my god. So let's get to the next one. This is not a sketchbook, it is a drawing pad, but I did draw in those very often. This is from 2020. This is before my art school started, so I wanted to get more into drawing and learning the fundamentals. So I was getting into line weight, into drawing with pencil and drawing from reference. And I just watched Leon the Professional, I guess, because I drew Matilda and I really like this drawing still. Another Pinterest references. And this was like me getting used to all of the different pencils that I had. Another portrait drawing. I really love drawing portraits. I think this was the phase where on Instagram you had all this beautiful Pinterest women and Pinterest girls. I think you still have them, but this was like the peak of that. And here I wanted to really learn how to draw eyes, get more into the basics, as I said. This is a very cool style exercise that I did. I really like these drawings. They are very cool. And some more portraits. This was me drawing a dream that I had. These drawings I did at the botanical garden. And another portrait. Here are some character designs. I don't know what I did that for. And this was me thinking about like a cyberpunk city on one of the rings of the Saturn. But yeah, I think I began getting into cyberpunk. Here are some more stylized pencil drawings. This is already 2021, so I was in art school already, so I think you can see that this is already a progress to what I've shown you before. These drawings are from when I was more into drawing and when I actually got like something like a style. I did this girl out of imagination to see how good I could draw out of imagination, and I really like her. The expression is very cool. And then we have some more reference drawings. And another one. I don't know, I actually think that I did them for a video that I made back then. These are some drawings from art school, from some of my classmates. Here are more classmates of mine. We were outside in a drawing class and then we were all just sitting around and could draw what we wanted to draw, and I drew all the people around me. And here's another. And I don't know if I'm allowed to show you these, but these are more figure drawings from my first year in art school. I don't know if I am allowed to show naked people that I've drawn, but I'm just doing it now. Here's some more. This was from June 2021. Live painting and live figure drawing is such a cool thing. I am very happy that we did this in school. You can just learn anatomy from it on a different level. Okay, so here we have my try to draw the tarot cards in a cyberpunk style, but I actually ended up just doing the Fool. And yeah, this was it for the sketchbook. Let's get to this sketch pad. This is also part of the comic that I did for school with my original characters. Those are more stylized, as you can see. And I really love this one. I think so often about this sketch. I really like it a lot. This sketch I turned into a digital drawing. This is also a sketch that I turned into a digital drawing, and this one I printed like traditionally, and it looks like this now. I really like that. This was for a paper craft exercise where we had to do like paper cutouts and paper scenes from a movie, and I chose Pulp Fiction. Some more figure drawings, more sketches. This is a storyboard for a whole animated music video that I did. This is again a head with some cables coming out of it. And this is Rose and Atlas. This is the storyboard for one of the short webtoons that I did. I can show it to you here. And I just finished it like a year later, I guess. And this is Risa's room, how I imagine it to be. This is the script of a video that I wanted to record, but never did. This was about mental health. And here is a woman who touches her boob. Here I was into learning how to animate, and I was actually writing down a lot of stuff because I think that animation is so cool. I want to learn it, and this was me starting to get into it. This was also Draw This in Your Style. I did these sketches for. These was the cover ideas I had for the school comic project. And this was just again a very bad day that I had to draw something about my feelings. I really like this sketch. Some more hand sketches. I think these are actually from the first video I did on this channel. Another Draw This in Your Style sketches. And this is actually the sketch of my Nights Out drawing from Risa and Rosalind. And I really love how it turned out in the end. So this is the sketchbook from when I started art school. This is from 2021. In one of our first classes we had to draw from imagination, so all of this are without reference. Some leaves, some animals, an elephant from behind and from underneath, and I think a rhino, and dogs. All kinds of animals out of imagination. Here we had to draw a human in different ages, but always in the same size. And here we had to draw someone who is falling, someone who is more like floating, again someone who is falling, someone who is jumping. I don't know, these are some textures from outside when we had a class outside again. And then I draw a dog. I drew some more textures and some classmates, something that I saw on the street. And like a monster. Yeah, that's it. I got this sketchbook for this drawing class and never finished it, just like all the other ones. Oh man, this is getting sad. Okay, another sketch pad. This is also from school, I guess. We had to do an ex libris, I don't know how you call it in English. But it was something like a stamp. Some more exercises from perspective class 2021. I drew this little frog. I love him. He's cute. And some watercolor like shapes I did sceneries and worlds out of. I really like this. Something I drew when I was outside. I really loved and still love doing this kind of clouds and smoke. Yeah, that's it. Next sketchbook. I remember that this sketchbook was when I wanted to find a new style. So you can see that I drew the eyes differently and that I already started to shade in a different way. You can also see it here. I wanted to start cross-hatching as shading. I think you can see that I got more confident in sketching and drawing. I was getting into line weight, I think, when sketching, and I think you can see it here because some lines are just stronger than other ones. I really dedicated my practices to line weight and expressions. Here's a portrait of Black Bear. And this also was the time when I started to use my hand-drawn references for digital art, and I turned this one into an illustration, and it will happen more often from now on because I was drawing a lot digitally. This was just like a warm-up exercise. These are sketches that I turned into an illustration also, and it is one of my favorite illustrations still. I will show it here. I really love how I did it and how expressive it is. And I kind of miss my old style where I worked with very saturated colors and high contrasts. Maybe I will come back to that someday. You can see that I still did not manage to draw good pieces all the time. Like, I started it all over and over again and just couldn't do it that day. So I still have bad drawing days where nothing works. Just a mindless doodle in the park. And another one that looks kind of creepy. I sketched some shoes from a friend of mine when we were sketching in a park. And those are just some sketches for posters we had to do as a school project. And we are through with another sketchbook. So now we are coming to the more recent sketchbooks from 2021. This was the time when I actually was in art school already and when I developed an own art style. So this might be more interesting from now on. This is a square sketchbook and I really wanted to have a sketchbook in this format for portraits, like these ones, or this one, and also this one. And you can see that I was actually more confident in my lines, more confident in my shape language, and I have already worked on anatomy more. Here I wanted to start writing my own story, and actually this is the first page that I've drawn my first OC Rosalind in. So these are the first drafts of Rosalind, my first sketches. And this is like, you could say, the first atlas, but not really. His name was Fatien back then and he was just a complete different character. Yeah, but this is a very important sketchbook spread for me, because this shows me where I started with my own story, which is, as I said, completely different now. But yeah, the first own character that I ever designed was Rosalind on this page. Here I drew the same person 4 times from the same reference in different styles. Another colorful drawing. This was an expression exercise. Here you can already see that I love floating things, that I love eyes and hands. And again, that's it for the sketchbook. And the next one, I really remember this one, because this was the time where I really got into cyberpunk drawings. So here you can see that I wanted to make a tarot card deck. But if you remember from earlier, I did not finish my zodiac sign series and I did not finish this tarot card series. But I really liked the designs. I really made a lot of thumbnail sketches, another tattoo design. And here you can see the beginning of me getting into using a lot of purple and blue and pink tones in my drawings. This is another OC that I was thinking of, and I think she is actually like the first idea I had for Riza, for my OC Riza, but even though they are looking different now, you can already see the hairstyle, like the braid in the front. And here it says that she's a sniper and assassin and she has very long braids. So this is actually Riza, but I was planning on yellow, orange, purple colors for her, and now they are blue. Another tarot card design. And this is the first Atlas sketch. Wow, I am working on my OCs for over 2 years, almost 3 years now. Already I have written down some things that have something to do with my own story that I am thinking of for my OCs. I will not tell you a lot of it now because I'm planning on doing a graphic novel about it, but yeah, here are the first designs. Some more expression and just anatomy studies and more portraits. This one I turned into an illustration. It is still one of my favorite ones. Eyes again. Those are very cool sketches. I really like the vibe of them. And another atlas. And some more poetry from myself on a bad day. The last drawing of 2021 that I did on, well, New Year's Eve. And this is lace already, so yeah, I was getting more into OC stuff, OC art, and more into my own story and my own characters. You will see them more often from now. And those are sketches that I did for like a project, a big project in my school. This was the last project from the 4th semester. I did very big paintings out of these sketches. Maybe I can show them to you. They are huge and I really love them. I do not paint often traditionally, but I really enjoy it when I do. Some more sketches for this last project. And again, we're done with another sketchbook. Okay, let's get to a bigger one again. This one is from maybe 2021, but I still drew in this like 2022. So this is a sketchbook that I had for a longer period of time. In this sketchbook I started to not draw on every page chronologically, but just open up like a random page and draw in it, because I didn't want to have the pressure to make every single page perfect. And this one is from 2021. I think I wrote some dates under a lot of my sketches here. Here's again the snake that we just saw. This is a more worked out design. And those are actually all tattoo ideas that I wanted to get, but I really like some of them. And here's the sun again, see? The sun that I made in my first sketchbook. Here's the Scorpio, or I tried to draw a Scorpio, but it was just too complicated for me. And I actually got a Scorpio. Maybe this counts as another self-designed tattoo. And in this one I did a lot of school stuff also. So this was a school project where we had to do some posters. Here are some figure drawings and anatomy, dynamic poses studies. And another school project in which I tried to recreate Majora's Mask, because I really love Legend of Zelda. Here are some boxes. We drew a lot of boxes in art school, but I think this is just a very common exercise in art schools. And this is one of my first gouache paintings. I wanted to try out all the colors that I had. I think it was over 20, and I used all of them in this drawing. More school stuff and even more school stuff. In this class we had to do some studies of folds. And this was the actual anatomy class. We had to draw some face features. This is 2020 actually. So art school began in 2020. I'm sorry, I thought it was beginning in 2021. But yeah, this was in art school and anatomy class, and we had to draw a face out of imagination, and then we had to do reference drawings. I really love this ear. I'm very proud of it still. And also this one. But I think the favorite drawing of all of them is this nose. I really like how I did it. And here were some eyes, so this was like a homework exercise we had to do. This is a classmate of mine, and here we had to do some mouths and some more classmates. This was like an imaginary piece and more anatomy, some hand studies, and again some studies we did in class from sculptures. So we had a horse and a rabbit. It was all different objects each class, and I think these were my favorite classes actually, because we could just listen to music and draw all the time. Hey Bean, I got a quick question for you. Do you want a video in which I talk about my experience with art school and if I think art school is worth it? If so, just leave a comment and tell me what you want to know on this topic. And now enjoy the rest of the video. Here is some more anatomy. This time it's the torso. And another school exercise where we had to do a symbol of our favorite animal. And again, it's the giraffe. More school exercises about herbs and about shading techniques. And this was a piece that I did by myself. I think I also have the digital version of that. Also, this one was like a private thing that I draw. Again, some classmates that we had to draw in one line. Some plants I drew from home, an eye again, some blank pages, and some character designs. Some more eyes. I really love drawing random eyes and really random drawings. There's no story behind it. And some more figure drawings, and I think this is hilarious that I drew it this way. I think I drew this one first and then I drew this one, and now you know what it looks like. More figure drawings from the same day. And those are again sketches I did for digital pieces. I hope that I find them so I can show you, because I really liked how they turned out. And this was actually one of the first drawings that I really loved my line weight, and I really loved the style, because I never really knew how to draw male persons, and I think that I actually nailed him here, and I really loved this illustration. Some more sketches. This was for Draw This in Your Style. And here I studied Ramon because I really love his style, and I just wanted to see what I like from his style and what I could work on myself. And I think this was the period of time, June 2021, when I got into cyberpunk, into all of this technical stuff in my illustrations. I think this was my first dive into that. Some more stuff that we did in school, some more stuff we did in school, and more stuff I did for school. This was a homework. This was like a spontaneous drawing I did outside, and I think this was a very bad day. I think this is also a quote. I just want to close my eyes and feel right, but every day I feel like dying. Yeah, I know this is not from Gucci Coffin, but from the other song. I think I will find which one it was. I listened to that a lot. And this was the same day, I think. You see, I had a heartbreak there. Oh man, poor me. And those are some of my favorite sketches I did. I did this page for foreshortening poses because I really love foreshortening and dynamic poses. I don't know what I love about them so much, but I know many people hate to draw foreshortening poses like this, but this is just my favorite. I think, yes. This was it for this sketchbook. I really like the sketchbook. I really enjoy looking into that, and I hope someday I will finish it. I will not lose hope to finish this sketchbook one day. Go! Going through this sketchbook will be done very quick because it is only one sketch in here. This is a sketchbook that I dedicated to inking and inkworks, and I never took my time to really go and ink something. So here's only this one sketch in it, but I really love it. I really like how three-dimensional it is, and I love inking so much. I don't know why I don't do it more often. But yeah, this is the only drawing in here, and here are just some inking practices with pen and ink, but I have a lot of pages to fill in this one. So let's get to one of my next sketchbooks. This is already from 2022, so from last year, and this is like a journaling sketchbook. I drew in this when I was outside, when I was in different cities. So first I started to draw in Berlin when we were at the playgrounds, which was like an artist festival. So this is impressions of the day, or just people that I saw somewhere, standing somewhere, or just drawing my friends. And whenever I do not know what to sketch or what to draw, I just draw Risa. She really is my comfort character. So another sketch for this big project that I had at the end of 4th semester of art school. I was experimenting with the perspectives here. Again, drawing outside when I was with my friends. We just had a lot of meetups when we were just sketching and build up some pages like this. And even like this, so this was a challenge where we just described memes to each other without seeing it. This is the first drawing that I was experimenting with this new style with the big hands, big heads, but very, very skinny body structure. And this was on my way to Leipzig, where I lived for 5 weeks for an internship, actually. So a lot of stuff that you will see in this sketchbook is from when I was living in Leipzig, like when I was eating some ramen. Like here when I was eating some ramen. Or here I was visiting a graveyard, yeah, sketching some statues that I saw there. And like I said, I just drew a lot of stuff that happened on the day. And I experimented with my new style, with this big hands again, and this big hats, big ears. My internship was about graphics design. There's some kind of stuff like this in here. Again, this new style, and urban sketching in Leipzig. And this is the last day impressions from this 5 weeks of Leipzig, so everything that happened and everything that I remembered in one spread. And then I was still experimenting with my new style, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I did this comic also digitally in Procreate, and this is a self-portrait or a drawing of myself in my new style. And here are some more sketches for illustrations that I never began drawing, but I really would like to do that because I love the ideas. Another bad day, and another sketch in my style. Some random drawings with my friends. This is another sketch session with my friends. I really love doing stuff like that. A sketch from Risa and Lace being together. And this was another school project where we had to draw our classmates with shapes. This was for our child book illustration, and we could decide if we would illustrate a book with a tiger or with a dragon, and I chose the dragon. So I made some dragon designs. And another school project where we had to like do an animated video about our favorite musicians, and I took the Suicide Boys, even though they are not my favorite musicians, but I really wanted to get to know more about them and wanted to draw them. And this was also part of that project. And yes, this was for my gouache video that I made like 2 months ago. So this is actually very recent. But this is one of the last pages from my sketchbook, so we could say that I almost finished this one. I'm very proud of myself. Now we are actually in year 2022 and 2023, and I will now show you my 3 very big sketchbooks. We will start with my study sketchbook, and I think I will just flip through it because I cannot say a lot about them. I just wanted to learn and practice anatomy in these ones. And I made some quicker sketches, like 5 minutes, and also some more detailed ones. Those are 1-minute sketches, I think. More anatomy practice. This is a practice with my watercolor pens and some more stylized portraits. Another sad day ink drawing. Urban sketches from class when we were outside again. I painted this watercolor painting when I was living in Leipzig for my internship. And this was actually the last drawing that I did in this sketchbook. And now my figure drawing and school study sketchbook from my last semester. We had to experiment with a lot of different media, so I really wanted to use my brush pen and ink a lot, and also pencil, of course, watercolor. So all of the sketches I made in school, I made in class. We had this course every Friday, so we had to draw from reference, from live reference, every week. Those are again some classmates of mine. And my best friend with her turtle socks. Greetings to my OG bean. Another classmate, and here it started with the figure drawing. I really loved this course in art school. It was a lot of fun and I learned a lot from that. More classmates, more figure drawings. And we also did some like architecture sketches from our school. I really love these two drawings. I like the contrast in them. And of course we also had male models. really loved working with this bigger format. This is A3. I think we tend to always draw on smaller formats, but with bigger formats you have to be faster when you draw, especially when you have a time limit for your drawings. We often had only 5 minutes to draw something, and then you have to really focus on the shapes and focus on your shape languages. And I think that I found some kind of freedom in that, to not focus too much on the details. Yeah, that's it. This was my figure drawing class sketchbook. So let's get to my original characters now. I really love this sketchbook, or I really love the sketches about my original characters. This is Arabella. This is Joker. This is actually the first design that I did for Lace, but the only thing that is still there from this design is her name, actually, because this was for a school project, and this was like Rosalind, as I said before, a completely different character with a completely different story than she is now. This is another character that I have not designed more than this. And this was the first actual sketch of Riza. Also, I sketched her tattoos all over her body. And another early design of Rosalind. Here are some more designs of Lace, and this is how I actually imagine her. This is the essence that I want her to radiate. This is the page for Riza, and I painted her in watercolors in here. I really like this painting of them because this is the closest portrait that I have ever done of Riza. This is a page for Atlas, and here are all of my OCs together. This is Riza, this is Rosalind, this is Lace and Atlas in different styles. Just like a cyberpunky sketch. And this is how I imagine my half-alive mechas in my story. So those are actually people and human, but they have a lot of technical stuff in their bodies, and they are, more of a machine than a person, but they are still alive. And what comes now is for my graduation project. I will show you more in my other sketchbook that we will come to later. But yeah, this is when my graduation project started. So all of the studies were the preparation for my graduation project, with all of my OCs in it and with text about their background stories and all of that. This is with what I graduated art school. And I made huge illustrations for all of my OCs, and big text and background information texts for them. And what you will see here is just sketching and finding out the designs for my original characters in this book and in my own universe. Those were figure drawings just to, get into drawing that day. This is my one original character, Narcissa. This is a design for a succubus that didn't end up in my book. And this is Narcissa again. Another character that I really wanted to make it in the book, but he didn't, because I, again, had not enough ideas and not enough time to finish this design. But she did make it in my graduation project. This is Twix, or those are the first sketches for Twix. Those are just some sketches for the illustrations I wanted to draw. And I think this is where it ends with this sketchbook. So let's get to my most recent sketchbook. This is again a sketchbook that I used for my graduation project, but also I'm still using it now when I already graduated art school. Let's start! So again, I got this sketchbook at a Playgrounds festival for illustrators with all of my friends when we were in Berlin together again. And then I started to sketch my OCs for my graduation project. Like, this is Tellurania. This was inspired by a girl that I saw on Berlin Central Station. Even more sketches of her. And more. And some more. And she was actually inspired by a bird, like her colors. And her outfit was inspired by this crowned wood nymph. And because she's an agility type in my universe, it fits that she's like a bird, which can move very quickly. I think I actually have to censor this. I will show some nipples in my videos, but I will not show this explicit content. But this is Kirill, another icon in my story, like Tellurania is an icon, Kirill is an icon, or also Twix is an icon. All the OCs you will see here are icons. And I wanted him to be as sexy as possible, like he's the icon of lust or the icon of desire. So he needed to be very seductive, but also looking kind of dangerous at the same time. Those were some ideas I had for Arabella. You might notice that I have already shown you a sketch of Arabella, but this was, well, again, a different character, but I reused the name. She is the icon of empathy, and this design was more like a sex doll, to be honest, so this did not fit her so much. And this is Narcissa, the icon of apathy, that we have already seen a few times in this video. And this is the icon of spirit, Mamoru. He is made of gold and he is like a spirit being. He does not have like a body or something, so I wanted him to be a floating kind of being without a real face or without like real expressions. And those were my inspirations for him. And I ended up with a design looking more like this. And this is like the actual design that I ended up with Arabella, because she looks kinder and warmer in this one, and she is the icon of empathy. So, like I mentioned before, she is one of the half-alive mechas. So she has no body, but she still has a brain and a heart. So I wanted her to look soft, even though she is like more of a machine. Here we have Twix, one of my favorite characters to design because she's just crazy and I love that. I love the energy. Those are some sketches for Lace. Lace is a stripper at a strip club in my universe, but she is also a lustborn, and well, she also should radiate desire and lust and sexuality, just like Kirill. This is Kirill, or like this is the outfit that I designed for him. And this is my beloved Riza. I just wanted to draw something that day, and as I told you already, I always draw Riza when I don't know what to draw, because I can draw them out of imagination. And from here on, my graduation project is finished. There are no more sketches for that, but those are more sketches for my YouTube videos that you might have seen already. These were sketches for my Drawing Riza in 7 Different Art Styles video. This is the One Piece style. Those are some random sketches. This is the Alphonse Mucha style that I drew Riza in. And the Spider-Verse sketches that I did for the video. And now I just like began to use my sketchbook as a normal sketchbook. So very random stuff, like eyes again, and reference drawings, ink drawings, portraits. And this is for the one video that I did about my mental health struggles with becoming a freelance artist. This is the sketch for the painting that I painted in the video. And those are character designs for a book illustration job that I am actually working on. And some more. And some more. So this is actually business stuff. Yeah, and those are my Inktober sketches. I think you have already seen them if you have seen my Inktober video. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and this is a new OC that I was working on some days ago. So this was it. This was the last page of my last of the 23 sketchbooks in this huge sketchbook tour. It took so long that I look totally different. I don't even have bangs, and even my painting fell off the wall because it didn't want to hang on so long. It took me like 2 months to make this video. I appreciate you so much if you stayed until the end, if you watched this whole thing from 2016 to 2023. I hope that you still enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoyed all my sketches and sketchbooks. I don't have one of these perfect sketchbooks, and I just wanted to show how all of my sketchbooks, even if they are not full, how they look, and that it can just be like this, that you have tons of sketchbooks and they are all over the place. And yeah, it is still a valid sketchbook, you know, you don't need to have these perfect sketchbooks laying all around. So yeah, I appreciate you if you stayed until the end, if you watched the whole thing, and I hope that you're well. I hope that I will see you in one of my next videos, and until then, bye bye Bean. I'm happy that you're here.